let's take one more quick call. I'm excited to get back to this conversation, but I wanted to quickly check in with Weston in Oklahoma. Weston, you're on the line. What can we do for you tonight?
Well, my headphones just died right when I heard the beep, so sorry about if my audio quality is bad. But yeah, I'm in the Christian Nationalist Hellscape of Oklahoma. Seth Andrews, I've followed your work for a long time. Really admire you and Matt Dillahunty as well. I don't know the other hosts, but I can't remember who was just talking. But when they were talking about chimpanzees and bonobos and that stuff that I've studied quite a bit. Just a lot of things about human behavior become more apparent whenever you understand that we're half a chromosome away from chimpanzees. But yeah, I mean, I can get to my topic. I guess I kind of have an interesting point on purity as far as like the secular standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of questions do you have for us, or what can we do for you?
Oh, I mean, I was just talking with the call screener, and just being from Oklahoma, I've really had to make the decision, especially with recent legislation, to just really kind of stop all my, I'm not, like one of those guys that that like to go around and have a lot of women. I'm kind of very particular. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to remain celibate, because if I accidentally impregnate somebody, I mean, there's really no recourse for it. I mean, I don't even know the closest state where I could get an abortion, and that just scares the heck out of me, because I mean, I have so much to do in life. So, I mean, for me, the purity is definitely entirely secular, no kind of religion. Now I do suffer from religious trauma syndrome, so I was a hellfire Baptist. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, well, I suppose I am looking to understand your takeaway here, because I absolutely appreciate the anxiety over the things that we've seen come out of the Supreme Court, the bill that we saw introduced into Congress this week. Like, there's a lot to be anxious about when it comes to not just our bodily autonomy, but specifically what we do in the possibility of pregnancy and how to be smart about that. We've talked to people recently who are considering vasectomies when they wouldn't previously have been interested in one, which is a trend I hope to see continue. But ultimately, if your takeaway here is to be entirely celibate, or to, I don't know, maybe you present it as kind of raising your standards sexually, I would really push back against like how healthy and maybe sustainable that kind of notion is. I mean, what would y'all say to that idea?
I think it's understandable. I think voluntary celibacy for different reasons that are not purity culture based, but well, they kind of are, because it's arguably evangelical Christian purity culture that overturned Roe to begin with. But no, that's understandable to me. That celibacy is probably something that a lot of people are opting for right now. And I would also echo Christy. How sustainable is that in the bigger picture? I'm a big fan of vasectomies. I so envy that men have the option to bank their sperm and then have a vasectomy. That way, if they ever do want to procreate, they have young, fresh sperm that can just be thawed from a freezer, and there they have a kid. I think that's absolutely amazing, and the success rates of that are way higher than, say, a woman who freezes her eggs. So I'm very envious of males who have that as an option. But I certainly understand your anxiety around having sex right now. And I would imagine that, I don't know, speaking for myself, I know with COVID, when it was very no interacting, no having sex, no kissing, no dating, I noticed a lot of my religious trauma symptoms a little triggered. It's like, I'm celibate again, not because I want to be. So it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people are feeling some of that come up in light of abortion no longer being a safe and legal option in so many places now. Not quite sure if that addresses your question or what your question quite was, but yeah, what you're saying is understandable to me. I do question how sustainable that could be, and I hope that we talk about more ways to have safer pregnancy-free sex
Hmm.
Right.
while we fight like hell to overturn the overturning.
Yeah, absolutely. Big questions about what the political landscape will look like in the next 6 months and where all of this is going. But Seth, anything to add before we say goodnight to Weston?
Well, I think the one concern I have, which echoes yours, is I worry that you're playing a reactive game,
Mm,
which is
Oh
a
yeah.
type of sexual control of
Mm.
the theocrats and the
Mhm.
controllers over who you are and how you express yourself sexually. I also think that celibacy is certainly one way to not have to worry about a pregnancy, but there are so many other avenues and options out there when it comes to whether or not
that are
pregnancy
probably going to end up being more effective if we're being honest.
is on the table. So I think there's education. I think there are really important, critical conversations with you and your partner or partners about preventative measures, what that means, where the lines are drawn, what you both want or don't want. I mean, this is a really thick, nuanced thing, but I would resist this idea that, well, the Puritans are declared war on the culture, and so I'm just going to take my ball and go home.
Mm.
That to me, it sort of cedes ground, I think, a little bit to them, and I worry that it may be cheating you. So, just as long and
Yeah.
my encouragement, I guess, at the end of the day is you still should be able to live your life, including your sexual life, on your terms, and not have to cede ground to the theocrats in doing so.
Oh,
Plan
Living
C
well
is a
is great
great
revenge.
organization to get birth control pills in advance, just in case if that
I'm
makes
sorry, I
gives you
couldn't
a
hear
peace of mind.
Alice. What did you say?
Sorry, I was just saying Plan C, the organization Plan C will give you abortion pills in advance of a pregnancy so you can have them on hand should you accidentally get someone pregnant who does not want to carry with the pregnancy. There are options like that that would allow you to hopefully get your sex life back less worry, knowing that you could get abortion pills mailed to you or to a friend in another state or a virtual mailing address in another state that has a forwarding service. There's all sorts of ways around it that I'm seeing people get very creative with. So hopefully things like that will become more widely known. And
I'd like to
yeah,
see
look
those
into it.
railroads continue. I'm definitely nervous about the future of them. But Weston, I hope that that gives you somewhere to go. Any final thoughts before we move on with the conversation tonight?
yeah. I mean, I agree. It is entirely reactionary. Like I said, I suffer from religious trauma syndrome, so really the enjoyment of my life has been very little. As far as like I mean, I want to have kids. I found a girl that I really want to have kids with. I like her genetics. She likes mine. That kind of thing. And I mean, yeah. I mean, when I turn 31, I mean, you'll see my name on the ballot, but I'm only 25, so we got a little bit to go.
Well,
I'm
fair
definitely
enough.
going
Yeah,
to
we
keep.
hope that you will help us be part of the solution because Lord knows there is a lot of important work that needs to be done right now.